So today I'm going to be talking about extruding on 3D CAD modeling. So what you're going to want to do is create a document on whatever software you're using. They will all be pretty similar, and then name it whatever you want. So I'll name it practice, and then something like this will come up. And basically what these squares are is they're planes to draw on. And so you can click on any plane in the top right, which is kind of like a scroller. So you click on the top plane, you're looking at the top plane. And then you can hide all the other planes. Oops. So now we can only see the top plane. And this kind of just makes it easier. So now if you want to press sketch and then click on the top plane. So now if you look at it, we are sketching or drawing on this top plane. And so if we look at the top left, there are all of these basic tools to draw something in a 2D image. So if we want to draw a straight line, we can do that. And if we want to draw it out here and then out here, so now we just use lines to create a 2D enclosed space. We could also use a corner rectangle or a center point rectangle if you want to use that to create 2D images. There are also a circle tool. So there's a lot of tools you can use. But we'll start with something basic. So say we want to start with a corner rectangle. We'll click on the middle, or a center point rectangle. Click on the middle, draw it out. And a very important tool, let's line this up. A very important tool is the dimensioning tool. So what this does is allows you to dimension how long the lines are. So if we click on this line and click again, we can type how long we want this line to be. It can be 4.5 inches, 3 inches, to whatever you want. And then we can also do the same with this line, 1 inch. So now we have a 2x1 rectangle, or 1x2. And once the lines turn black, it means that they can no longer be moved. So since the rectangle is centered around the origin, and we have the lengths of these lines, this rectangle can't be moved at all. So now that we have a rectangle, we can check out of the sketch, and as you can see, this rectangle is on the top plane. So right now it's only 2D. If we want to make it 3D, we can press the extrude button right here, this little button, and we can click on this enclosed space. To extrude, it has to be a closed space. So if you go here, click on the top plane again, and draw something like this, like that, you won't be able to extrude this. It just won't work because there's nothing to extrude. It's kind of like, there's no area to extrude. So if we go back to extrude and click on this area right here, it'll extrude. So now if we scroll around, you can see it's kind of 3D, or it is 3D. And what you can do is you can adjust the depth. 1.2, 3 is getting bigger, 0.5, or you can also use this to adjust it. But we'll just set it at 2 for now. So now also when you now we have a 3D. Oops, I accidentally clicked the X. We'll set that to 2 again. So if you click the X, it cancels out whatever you did. So we want to click the check. So now we have a 3D image, right? But let's say we sketch another image on the, let's use a corner point rectangle. But we're going to sketch on the top plane again and draw a rectangle, something like this. Perfect. So as you can see, it's on the top plane, same plane as the first 2D rectangle. And say we also extrude this. Then you can either add it to this or create a new solid. So if we create a new solid, it's going to be a different color. And this is because it's a different part. So I'll go into that later, but it just means like they aren't really the same thing. Like they're not combined into one part. So when you export it, it'll be like 2 different files. And if you press add, it just combines it all into one part. So now they're the same color and the same part and everything. If you're on this side, you see how they're just like one piece. And the reason it's not like that over there is because they don't connect at the same spot. But they're still one piece. So that's how you extrude that's kind of the basics of extruding. But there's also another part of extruding. So if we look at this, you see there's also remove and intersect. So I'll go over intersect first. So if we have something, so if you right click, you can delete the sketch, and we will delete this extrusion. So if we draw something else, like another rectangle, and it goes something like this, confirm it, and we extrude it, if you intersect, it's basically just combining the pieces, like where they intersect. So if we go back, you see how we have these two images, or we have these two like extrusions. The first one's over here, the second one's down here. If we pull up so that they do intersect, only the part where they do intersect will be left. So if we pull it all the way up, then only that part in the middle, that blue part, will be left. So if we confirm it, then that part from the original extrusion and the new one is what's left. And if we go back here, let's delete this. So if we sketch again, what you can do is you can sketch on the top of something. So if we click on top of this rectangle right here, or the 3D cube, and we scroll to the side, you can see that the sketch is on top of this rectangle instead of at the base of it, or instead of on the top plane. So now when we draw something, so we draw a circle, put it right there, and we view it from the side, it's on top of the cube. So if we confirm that, look at the top, and now we want to extrude this. Again, you can extrude it up. You can either add something, and it'll look like, you can either add it, it'll look like that. You can create a new one, so it's a new part on top of it. Or what you can do is you can do remove. And basically what this is it just deletes that part of another extrusion. So if we make it go into the previous piece, it'll remove that circle from it. So if you from the top, it'll remove that area in it. So we confirm this, and you see how that now there's a hole that is the size of the circle but going into the original piece. So you can adjust the depth, of course, using right here. So that is how the remove function works with extrusions. So that's kind of the basics of extruding stuff. There's obviously other tools you can use. There's direction, just saying which way to go, starting, offset, symmetric, draft. I'll go into all of this in a later video, but this is kind of just like the basics of extruding, how to extrude stuff, the 4 components of extruding, and is kind of the backbone of all of 3D CAD modeling. So yeah, good luck and have a good day.